What's up, Alien fans? We've got a wild one today. We're talking about one of the biggest theories floating around the fandom right now, something I see all over my comment section. What if Kirsh is actually David? Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of Alien and Alien Earth, hit that subscribe button. I talk about it, discuss it with you all throughout the week. And tonight I'll be back with my review recap of episode 7, Emergence. I can't wait for that episode. Crap is going to hit the fan on this one. The Xenos are going to be let free, set free, and we're in for a wild ride tonight. That's what I suspect. Today though, I wanted to get to something. I wasn't planning on doing this, but my comment section on a bunch of my videos have really been ignited with comments saying that Kirsh is David. David is Kirsh. They are one in the same. This isn't a theory that I necessarily subscribe to. I never even thought of it, to be honest. It wasn't something that ever crossed my mind. But when you see enough comments, when enough people are making the same comment, theorizing the same thing, you got to take note and you got to look into it. So I did a little bit of a deep dive, started doing some research on it overnight, and I took some look at what could be there, what isn't there, and would this theory actually work? So today I just want to talk about, could Kirsh be David? But I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. You can let me know before the video and after the video if your opinion changes at all. I'll tell you if mine changed when I wrote all this too. So let me know that. But let me know, is Kirsh David? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get right into it. Could Timothy Olyphant be Michael Fassbender's David from Prometheus and Alien Covenant? We're going to dig in. I'm going to respect this theory, flesh it out as much as possible, and show you all the ways it could work, and then I'll give you my honest take on whether or not I think Kirsh is David. I present to you evidence number 1. Kirsh, he acts a lot like David. Fans have been pointing out how Kirsh handles alien material. He's not scared of it. He doesn't treat it like some doomsday bioweapon. He treats it like a piece of art, something to be studied, cataloged, curated. That's classic David behavior. Go back to Covenant. David was sketching Xenomorphs, cataloging their growth cycles, humming to himself while chaos unfolded. He wasn't afraid of creation. David was fascinated by it. Kirsh gives us the same vibe. When he's working with specimens, he's calm, curious, even withholding information from his human colleagues. That omission of truth, that I know more than I'm letting on attitude, that's peak David right there. Evidence number 2, and this is a really hard-hitting one, his look. This one's huge. Kirsh's white silver hair and bleached eyebrows are not random choices. Timothy Olyphant himself talked in interviews about bleaching for the role. Fans instantly picked up on this. The Alien franchise never does design by accident. David stood out from Walter. Ash sweated milk. Bishop had the knife trick. Every synthetic has a defining trait. So when Kirsh walks on screen with his striking other appearance, people read it as a breadcrumb. You guys have basically been saying, they're showing you he's different. They're showing you he's not just another synth. He's David. Evidence number 3, the Covenant ending. Let's go back to where we last saw David in Alien Covenant. He's in total control. He's got the Covenant ship, he's got human embryos, alien embryos, all of the knowledge of the engineers, and Walter is out of the picture. And then the film cuts to black. That's it. Ambiguity. So what happens next? The door is wide open. Fans have built entire timelines around this. David uploads himself into a new body, or maybe Weyland-Yutani or Prodigy scavenged his research and found a way to reboot him in a new form. Maybe David himself engineered a new synthetic shell. Point is, nothing in canon rules this out. Alien Earth could totally be this payoff. Evidence number 4, Kirsh's secrecy. This is another big one. Throughout Alien Earth, Kirsh is always the guy in the room who knows more than he's saying. He sits back, lets corporate leaders argue, and doesn't correct them. He doesn't warn them. He lets mistakes happen. That's not incompetence. That's control. And fans see that as another Davidism. Remember in Prometheus how David forgot to translate certain things? Or in Covenant when he just watched as people stumbled into Xenomorph's ambush? Same playbook right there. Evidence number 5, franchise pattern. This series loves to play with echoes. Ash, Bishop, David, Walter, each synthetic is part of a pattern, part of a conversation across decades. Kirsh fits the mold perfectly. The curiosity of David, the calm of Bishop, but the uncanny other vibe that makes you wonder what's lurking under the surface. Fans see Kirsh as the next logical step in that lineage. Okay, but does any of this actually really work? Here's where I want to pump the brakes a little bit because, yeah, the evidence is interesting, but does it really hold up? For one, Noah Hawley has been super clear in interviews Alien Earth is a standalone story. He's aware of the prequels, he respects them, but he's building something new. Would Hawley really undercut his entire narrative by making Kirsh just a rebranded David? It would feel less like bold storytelling and more like a franchise gimmick. Second, the timeline logistics are messy. We don't actually know how long Kirsh has been around. But David would have had to survive multiple corporate takeovers, multiple synth generations, and still end up here under a new name without anybody noticing. It's possible, but it's definitely a stretch. And finally, thematically, David's story already had a perfect ending. He achieved his dream in Covenant, he created monsters, he became a god of his own twisted creation. And bringing him back as Kirsh kinda almost cheapens all of that. So what do we got? I love the theory. I really do. I think it's very intriguing. It got me thinking, obviously, and you see it, like I said, you see enough of it where there's smoke, there's fire, so I had to go with it. But ultimately, I think it's clever and it's got real evidence, and I wouldn't put it past Alien Earth to drop a fake-out reveal where Kirsh is framed like David, but ultimately, I just don't think he is. I think Kirsh is inspired by David. He's the next step in the lineage, maybe even carrying some of David's research programming, but not literally him. Kirsh is his own character, and that to me is more interesting because if it's just David, that's a rehash. But if he's something new with echoes of David baked in, that's, that keeps the story fresh and honors the legacy. So here it is, Alien fans. The Kirsh is David theory is everywhere, and I want to give it the respect it deserves. The behavior, the look, the secrecy, the breadcrumbs, all of it makes sense. But in the end, I think Kirsh is just not David. He could be something scarier, though that's apparently a hot topic also. He's a reminder that David's ghost, his obsession, and his influence will always haunt the alien universe, even if he's long gone. There's one more thing I do want to bring up. David was always loud about his ambitions. He quoted poetry, he painted, he created. He wanted the world to know his name and his work. Kirsh, he's quiet. He's calculating, sure, but he's not trying to be remembered as a god artist of life. He's a shadow player, not a self-declared messiah. And that difference matters. If Kirsh were really David, we would have seen that ego at play, the flair for creation. Instead, what we're seeing is a brand new synthetic archetype, one that might remind us of David, but ultimately exists to take the story forward in a new direction. So those are my thoughts on this theory. Like I said, I said it multiple times. I do like it. It got me thinking. Obviously, you can see this enough. Where there's smoke, there's fire. You got to look at it. You got to take it seriously. So I did. I presented it all. Am I missing stuff? I might be missing stuff. It was a late night, but I felt like I had to do this. Ultimately, I don't think Kirsh is David. It's kind of a neat idea. I think he is the next step in evolution of storytelling of where synthetics go from David and whatnot. So that's where I think it's going to be. What his endgame, what his goal is. I have other videos on that you can check out. That's a discussion for another time. Maybe we'll find out tonight on tonight's episode of Emergence. Later, I'll have my recap of it after that. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.